just finished my sixth season in NASCAR 25, and I want to do a quick end of season recap, if you will, because I was able to accomplish a lot of things in each of the series that I started in my career, from ARCA to Craftsman Truck to Xfinity, all the way up to we finally unlocked the Cup Series. That's where we left everybody off when we reviewed NASCAR 25, which I will leave down in the description box below if you want my full opinion on the game. But in this video, I'm going to do a Season 6 end of season recap to let you know where we stand in the number 94 car, our car for career mode, and where we finished at the end of the season. Now, I was able to win about 10, 11 wins in my rookie season, 11 wins in my rookie season of the Cup Series. But once again, I failed to qualify at Phoenix Raceway, and so I was unable to win the championship. And I want to remind everybody that I am also playing NASCAR 25 on the current AI level of 95 or 94. So it's the highest level. Most people find themselves playing between like 75 and 85, but I am playing at 94. So this very much could affect my ability to qualify on that last race. No matter how I try, I'm unable to qualify higher than 10th position, and that just almost immediately eliminates me from the top 4 racers that I have to place higher than. So this has happened to me in like each of our last 6 seasons where we made the playoffs and we made the championship round, but I was unable to qualify at Phoenix. I also still very much sucked at the Rovals like Charlotte and Sonoma and all those, and similar Rovals. I just sucked at them. I was not great at all. Finished in the lower top tier, 25th, 27th at a lot of times. So that did affect our overall point system. But being that I was able to win a lot of races, I had a lot of W's under our belt, I still was able to, stay high or stay in that top 4 in the final round. Most of the activities in career mode just kind of revolves around you upgrading your car or just maintaining your car, participating in different events that are either going to get you research points or work points, and in some instances even cash. A lot of times I went for the events that offered cash, being that towards the end of the season, work points really didn't become an issue, although you did have to manage 4 different cars. Upgrading them and trying to find, that right balance in between cars and preparing for, the race or preparing for that track was crucial and was critical in a lot of the victories I was able to capture, especially on those ovals. The Rovals, not so much, because I knew I was going to suck going into it. In the review, I mentioned switching from the steering wheel, switching from the Logitech G923 and trying those Rovals on the PlayStation 4 DualSense controller. And I still didn't do that. I probably will when we enter into Season 7 here, although I was a little frustrated because you do so well, do so good all throughout the season. And we did all 36 races. And then you get to that last race and you can't qualify in the top 5 and there's no pitting. So essentially you're just chasing the top leader. And it's near next to impossible to catch the AI when I'm playing at such a high level. They very rarely make mistakes. Christopher Bell won Season 6, and I think Kyle Larson won Season 5. But in each of the series that we raced in, we did make the championship round and just couldn't finish at that last race. In the second to last race to, I think, Martinville or Martin Speedway, I couldn't, do really well on that track either. Either started really low and had to fight up to just place in the top 10. And again, I couldn't qualify on those tracks as well. One of the key things, though, missing in my career mode is your ability to, 1, skip tracks. I really wish you can do that because, yes, I very much will or would simulate, not skip, but more so simulate. I would simulate those Rovals. I wouldn't even really want to play on them. I was not having fun when I had to get to the Rovals. Charlotte, especially the Glen, I did not do very well on those races. So it would have been nice to skip races in my career mode. Another feature missing that why it's not there is beyond me, but your ability to practice, like practice at different tracks or just practice in general as a driver. You can practice on the track on race weekend, but when you're in between races and you just want to feel like you can do something else other than just work on your car, do a press event, and then you're ready to jump into the next race, there is something's missing in between. And being able to just practice on those tracks before the race weekend gets there so you can get an idea how the car feels or just try to learn the track, that would be awesome. That would help you especially when you're like myself and I'm struggling on some of those tracks I can't qualify on, to just learn the track and learn what's the right car configuration instead of needing to, that I need to be competitive, because I cannot place higher than 12th or 15th at Phoenix. I think the highest I placed was 10th, and that still was nowhere near enough to get me where I needed to be to place higher than the other three drivers. So those two features desperately missing in my career mode. The commentary too. I mean, I didn't really get any of the Dale Jr. podcast segments that popped up here in season 6. And really the only kind of media propaganda you get throughout the season is the X post or the regurgitated social media post at the end of the race. But there's really nothing else in between. You can look at your stats. You can look at your reputation, your achievement, sure, your finances, which really hold no basis. There's no really reason to look at your overall finances between each season or each series. But there are things you can look at, but there's essentially not enough things to do when you're not on the track. But when you're on the track, it's fun. Seeing the drivers at the end of each race react to your driving style. It was fun and fresh at first, maybe in season 1, season 2. But I can only imagine by your 7th and 8th season, 9th season, like we're coming up on, you're not even going to be interested in reading those posts. I very rarely do, unless something happened in the race that I want to see the AI's reaction. So, having those other two features I mentioned and just having more to do in career mode would have been fun. It would have really, truly felt like a franchise, or you are in your career, you're doing all the things a driver would do. It felt underwhelming at times. The paint booth and the way you can customize your helmet, your fire suit, and your car is robust and detailed. I did not spend a lot of time in the paint booth because I really just wanted to jump on the track and drive. You see the rear of your car 90% of the time. So really, it doesn't really matter what the front looks like. I mean, yeah, for screenshots and replay value, it may hold some weight there. But for the most part, you're just looking at the rear of your vehicle. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time in the paint booth. Maybe if you had downtime or free time and you didn't just want to be on the track, you can spend some time over there. But for myself, I literally just wanted to jump into the next race. I wanted to just continue to compete. There was one point that we won like the first 3 or 4 races, I believe. We finished first place in the first few races. That gave me the edge I needed to upgrade my car, because then we struggled in the middle of the season. In fact, the Cup Series, while I had more wins than I did in Xfinity, the Cup Series was just consistently more competitive. Xfinity was competitive too. I think we only had 6 wins in Xfinity. Xfinity was super competitive too, but the Cup Series was just a whole different bag of competitive drivers and competition in general. Some cars just genuinely were faster than mine, and I would look up in my rearview mirror and I see them coming up behind me and they're passing me, or I'm struggling to catch up with them, or I'm doing my best to qualify. Like I'm running what I think is the best possible lap I could run, the fastest lap I could run. Phoenix especially being one of them. Once I would qualify, I would say, okay, let me make some adjustments, maybe loosen the vehicle, maybe loosen the car, whatever the track calls for. Let me try to make some adjustments so I can try to qualify higher. And I just couldn't do it. I thought about entering to season 7 here just because I would like to get a championship in each of the 4 series, right? I would love to get a championship in ARCA, Craftsman, Xfinity, and Cup, at least one in each series. And I think it's achievable, but I do think that we may have to lower the AI difficulty as well to be able to do so. I've raced online trying to practice on Phoenix. I've done quick races at Phoenix just trying to learn the car, but I can't race with the car that I have available to me in my career mode. That car is exclusive to you in your career mode. All the more reason why we should have some way to practice on the track outside of just a race weekend. Because once you enter race weekend, you can't like go back and make changes to the car. That's it. But other than that, again, once you're on the track, that felt good. Our driver, SMT or gaming, we was in fierce battles and fierce competition with the likes of Kyle Larson, Joey Logano. Always felt like I was running after those two, or right behind them in wins and points. So it did feel competitive all the way until the end. It just frustrates me a good deal when I get to Phoenix and I'm unable to qualify. But other than that, we did good on some of the other ovals again. It felt good running on Talladega, Daytona. We won on Kansas City. Again, I am undefeated at Kansas City Speedway. Minus online. When I do race online at Kansas City, I place like top 5 or top 3. I was playing last night, and I think I finished top 2, second place. But, at those tracks, at those ovals, I remain undefeated, a straight menace at Kansas City and Talladega too. No matter what, I have a really easy time qualifying first place at either of those races. And once I'm at the lead like that, my car in career mode is hard to catch up. It just doesn't handle well, or maybe it's just me, maybe it's user error, but at those rovals, I don't know. It could be me. But I had a good time playing NASCAR 25 as my career mode. Again, there are other activities missing in it that would just make it a little bit less, tedious. Give us more to do in career mode. Let our driver actually feel like we are among the other 47, 37 something drivers. Let us be able to create our character a la the likes of like Skyrim and Cyberpunk. Like, let us create our driver. Get advanced. Let us scan in a picture of our own selves and throw it on, a character model, or let us generate an AI version of ourselves. But am I enjoying my career mode in NASCAR 25? Absolutely, even without those missing features. I'm only hesitant to enter into Season 7 because of my issue at Phoenix, and being that the rovals are not very fun. There's at least 4 of them in my career mode, or in career mode. So you have to run them. You have to race them, even if you're sucking at them. That is me. And no matter what I do to try to get better, I either can't qualify on a track, and I just will keep trying to try, and I say, F it, I'll start at 40th place, and maybe if I can finish, top 25, that'd be great. If I could finish, top 20, even better. But being that I can't qualify at either of those tracks, I start at the back of the line and got to fight all the way up. So could be me, but we will enter into Season 7, likely lower the AI difficulty and see if that makes a difference. But once we do finish Season 7, or whenever we do decide to finally be able to do what we got to do on the track and win a championship, we will be back for another My Career update. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. If you haven't yet, do me a favor and like this video for me, and consider subscribing with the notification bell turned on to receive all future notifications and community tab posts, all of that good stuff. You can jump down in the description box below for more SMT gaming content. And with that out the way, I do hope to catch you all in the next one. So until then, be easy.